Though the reason why he is a cyborg or has electronic prosthetics is due to the fact that he once fought Dinnerbone, beat
Oh
Dinnerbone.
my god.
Dinnerbone was upset about it and cut off Doc's arm.
Doc beat God, and God went, your arm is mine now.
I'm sorry, we have to nerf you. You're too powerful.
You're too powerful.
No, that made him more powerful. Sing to me, Talia, muse of comedy, and tell me the tale of the animals, of the humans who gain the skills through the way of nature. The birds, feathered in their motion, vexes, magic in their smile, and the foxes, heralded by the mask they wear. From the whims of the hand that those who hold no power, but the sway of the gods. Welcome to FanDive. My name is Chaos.
Hi, and I'm Andy.
And today we are talking about the prevalence of hybrid traits in the MCYT fandom and how sometimes the content creators aren't even aware of that.
Actually, a lot of content creators aren't aware of what, like, their, quote, hybrid traits are. Like, it's a thing that's such a fandom thing that Skizzleman, who is almost always consistent on what people make him, does not remember unless prompted.
And he's interacted with the fandom a fairly large amount since joining Hermitcraft.
Yeah. Like, he sees fan art. He will interact with fans and be like, oh my goodness, they made art of me! Look, I'm buff impulse!
And then he won't clock, yeah, by the way, you have wings and a halo? Not even a thought in his brain.
No, we never pick up on the continuity. That's just, he is always has the angel traits. We're never gonna notice unless somebody goes, do you like being an angel? I'm an angel?
I guess this is a perfect place to start off with Imp and Skiz, the angel and the devil, or Imp, I guess is whatever.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Imp is like a type of demon.
Imp is, according to the Catholic Church, a type of kind of goblin-y demon thingy, usually with a long, pointy tail.
Okay, yeah, because whenever I see him with random traits, it's typically like the horns and sometimes bat-like wings.
Yeah, that's
and a
pretty
tail if you're
consistent.
feeling fancy.
That is the best way to describe what an imp is. And then we have a Skizzle who came along, was human for the longest time, and then he was just really nice during a death game, and everyone went, that's an angel right there.
Yeah, because as far as I'm aware, a lot of people drew him as a human before Limited Life. It was Limited Life, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's when he did the affirmation station. And everyone was like, this man is just... he's an angel! And also, besides the fact that he's just really that kind, being paired with his best buddy, it creates a good dynamic.
They just kind of became a match set. I believe this was the Imp and Skiz podcast has been going on for like a while before Limited Life, I believe. And even before that, they did Naked and Scared, and they've been in content creation together as a duo for as long as they've been doing content creation. So those guys matched pair. When one of them became the imp and the other was the human, that didn't... let's just say that wasn't going to last forever.
It didn't. I've actually also seen Skizzleman as a watcher. I don't actually know where that one came from, but I've seen it several times now. I'm assuming it's just because, angel watchers are also sometimes depicted as angels.
Yeah, watchers like to pretend, at least in Evo lore, that they looked like angels. And then when you have Skiz showing up and people start drawing him with angel wings, it's very easy to throw a couple eyeballs on those feathers.
It's also easy to go, hey, those lines on his arms, those are actually closed eyes. Ha ha ha.
What is the creature from Greek mythology that had 100 eyes? Can we make Skiz that the next hybrid trait we give him?
I'm okay with that. I'm willing to make it.
I don't know how we do that, but I'm okay with that.
I mean, I wouldn't be willing to do the cosplay of that because I already have enough painted eyes that I've made. But I think that could create some really fun concepts.
let's talk about how hybrid traits kind of come about, because we have the canon Minecraft skin, the loosely canon lore skin, and then we have the totally fandom, maybe the content creators know about group. And do you think Impulse would be somewhere in the kind of canon or totally fandom group?
That's totally fandom. He is completely human in everything that he makes about himself. That's a lie. He's been a dwarf.
Okay. Whole tangent that dwarves totally like were meant to be humans at some points, but different conversation. Unless we're talking about Norse mythology, and then they're another form of elf and could be the dark elf. But I'm gonna go on a tangent, and I'm gonna stop myself.
So I think Impulse's hybrid trait stuff is just a fandom thing, because like the most he's going to acknowledge it, as far as I'm aware, is just the haha, yeah, imp is also a demon.
Yeah, the devil on your shoulder, I think he joked once.
Yeah. It's not something he really includes when he commissions stuff, or...
He commissions stuff to fit his current theme of this season, which would be a cyberpunk human or a dwarf living under an elven keep. It would be matching whatever he is currently doing, and not the fandom idea of imp is short for imp and not impulse.
Yeah. Imp isn't short, actually. It's just an imp.
Imp is short, but not.
Oh, no, Impulse is actually imp, but Skizzleman made a nickname for him.
He's an imp who's very impulsive. What? His name is Impulse? Yeah. Sure.
It is now.
And agree.
None of this is actually true. For the record.
Let's talk about something that is true. And Zombie Cleo is both zombie in terms of the canon of the name and also the canon of the Minecraft skin. To the point where one time when they came back from Demise, they came back as a human.
Yeah, and they're also in a lot of art. Is it called a Gorgon?
A Gorgon, which came from their season 9 skin, which had the snake hair, you could tell with the little eyeballs. I saw some people saying, "Oh, that's so cool! You add beads to your hair." And it's like, no, those are snake eyes, honey. Mm-mm. Those are snake eyeballs.
Which is again completely canon to her skin, and she will lean into this. I'm not human in the name.
And
zombie.
Then once again, looking at the life series, when the zombie apocalypse was happening and Cleo survived, guess what? The next episode, that's the only human walking around, and human Cleo was in the life series.
Sure, change her skin and everything. I find human Cleo unsettling.
You get so used to seeing green skin, and then you see someone with like a peachy tone, and I'm like, no, hold on. Wait a minute, back up.
Why do you have blood in your skin? Where is the rot? I know, a number of the other ones that are like just completely canon is the Ren dog, which wasn't always, but he leaned into it, and Doc. God, Doc.
So Doc comes from a longer line of tradition of Redstoners having creeper skins. Rendog, however, I think is so interesting because he did not become the dog until he was given a haircut, and his haircut literally gave him dog ears, and thus it changed his species somehow and became either a dog / werewolf, depending on who you're talking to.
And then he added it to his skin, and I'm like, yeah, everyone, you are Ren the dog. That's, Congrats!
You're a dog now. Your haircut changed your species.
Yeah! It happens to the best of us. At least he leaned into it. Some other people have boundaries around. Let's not do that, actually. I know, not Cleo, Gem, is almost always depicted with these antlers. Because of season 8, I believe, is when she had the elven outfit and antlers on her head. And then when season 9 started, people just kept the antler.
I believe Gem started setting that boundary of don't just stick with the antlers during Empires, when she was being this wizard of the Crystal Cove, because she's like, this character is a wizard. This is not the same character as the cottagecore antler builder over on Hermitcraft. It was meant to be a separation of don't keep drawing the same character.
And I remember when season 10 of Hermitcraft started, they said, okay, I'm okay if you give me animal traits. However, this season, come up with something different. And I know a lot of people went, got it, fox.
And that totally ties into how Jem is hanging out more with Etho, who has a history of being associated with Arctic foxes.
That's true. I don't actually know where that one started. I've not... I will confess I've not watched as much Etho.
I think it might be a carryover from Naruto. There has been, in a couple different occasions, the character Kakashi was associated with having a fox, though you more likely see him with a white dog. I just think somehow, some way or another, maybe Etho at some point in his very, very long solo world picked up an Arctic fox somewhere, and it just stayed.
Yeah, that's one that's... I rarely see Etho as anything other than an Arctic fox, but he's less frequently. Like, it's still definitely something shown, but less frequently than the others.
I love it when he's just like some vague void hybrid, or like he was there at the start of time. I'm like, it's sure, if that's the hybrid traits you're giving him, part of the universe, I'm here for it.
There was a specific... Now I need to figure out where I know this from, actually. However, I'm going to say it anyway, and then I'll look it up later.
We'll look it up later.
There was a specific thing where he, like, worked for death. As in, let me clarify. This person said, hey, I'm going to make Etho a void hybrid that works for Phil's wife. And I've been thinking about it ever since.
I don't think I've ever heard that, but I desperately need it now. I want, you know what, it's going to be a Tommy, it's going to be a Tommy in it, Hermitcraft crossover, and Ethan's going to be like picking up Tommy from daycare and accidentally took him home.
Something like that. It had to have been something like that. Which Phil's is also really, really consistent on his hybrid traits, and he is well aware of it.
There was actually, I believe it was a tweet at some point, or maybe it was brought up at a convention, when someone kind of went forward and said, do you like when people draw you as a crow hybrid? And up until that point, it was kind of like this mentality of you don't tell the content creators your headcanons for their characters, at least not directly to their face. And Philza said, yes, I absolutely love that. And that became the default because that was the one he acknowledged. And let's be real, he does give off a lot of bird traits. So it wasn't the most...
And then chat became crows.
Yeah, and then the chat became crows, which I'm gonna be real, having stayed in that chat for a long time, that's a bird brain right there. All the love in my heart, those are actual birds.
But, like, a lot of these come from the fandom, but in my opinion at least, a number of these, quote, hybrid things is because so many of the original, like, Minecraft skins, like, the default ones, before people were making their own, were like, that is a pig, but as Steve, or that's a creeper, but as Steve. And, like, so many of those original skins from early Minecraft were these animals and stuff. And so hybrid traits has just always been connected with Minecraft because it's this, well, I watch this Minecrafter and I want to do art of them, but their entire skin is just a cow on 2 legs. So I'm gonna draw them as their human self, but with cow ears and horns growing off their skull and
there's a word
hooves,
for
maybe.
that's like cat girl, but it's not cowgirl because that has a different meaning. Whatever that word is, I've seen like
no idea.
So much fan art of it, and I'm like, damn, that's like really cute. I love the aesthetic of when it's just like, take something different than cat girl. I'm so tired of seeing cat girl. I like when you do it like characters with like little floppy dog ears, or again those little sticky out cow ears, or whatever animal.
Yeah.
I like it one of the things I really like about the hybrid traits is that it's so diverse, and you get characters who look a lot alike, and then you separate them. Like, we have Vintage Beef and XB Crafted, whose Minecraft skins, I'm gonna be real, I cannot tell apart. And when you have those little Easter eggs that they made for the Easter egg hunts, could not tell those two apart. But in fan art, Vintage Beef is drawn as some sort of cow hybrid, and then XP Crafted is typically some sort of Elder Guardian hybrid. And it just makes it so much easier to tell them apart. And I think that's so useful in fan art.
I also like that sometimes things aren't widely known, but are still widely accepted. Like, XB and his Guardian hybrid status came from season 3 of Hermitcraft.
And we never let it go.
And then we never let it go. And I know people who have, like, made fan art with the Guardian stuff and are like, why is he a Guardian? Okay, well, you see, in season 3, he made a really cool build.
And I think it is one of his best builds he's ever made. Like, I get why we have clung on to it for this many years.
I do too. And Vintage Beef is beef.
And his base is literally a farm right now. It's the cutest thing ever.
He is a cowboy, and it's very, very clear that he is a cowboy.
Right, I think it's a good time to circle back to that. A lot of OG Minecraft skins were just creepers, Doc M77, and what the hell is going on with the creeper hybrid redstoner connection?
Okay. As far as I'm aware, because it's been a while since I've rewatched his explanations on his skin, he's creeper, and then added Terminator stuff to it, and then was called the goat enough times that he added goat horns, and he became the goat. And then his kid, Docky, I'm pretty sure it was just, I want butterfly wings.
Docky at one point drew fan art of Doc, and it included monarch butterfly wings. And then Doc got a resource pack that turned all elytra into monarch butterfly wings.
So his species is creeper, cyborg, goat,
butterfly. Though the reason why he is a cyborg or has electronic prosthetics is due to the fact that he once fought Dinnerbone, beat Dinnerbone.
Oh my god.
Dinnerbone was upset about it and cut off Doc's arm.
Doc beat God, and God went, your arm is mine now.
I'm sorry, we have to nerf you. You're too powerful.
You're too powerful.
No, that made him more powerful. Don't you know prosthetics are the coolest thing ever? You can decorate those. I bet Docky covers those in stickers and magnets.
If he doesn't actually have a prosthetic in real life.
I know,
but
not in real life, but in the video game.
Stickers.
Let me headcanon for a second. Docky magnetizes all of the stuff to that arm.
Yeah, I can imagine it. I can so easily picture it.
And then you also have that's like, yeah, those butterfly wings, they're probably just a fancy painted elytra or some sort of elytra that Doc has modified to look like butterfly wings, even though I'm gonna be a little salty here. Butterfly wings are like super not optimized for flight. But
Really
I'm a Dragonfly fan.
It's a... So many of these don't actually make logical sense.
Why would anything be logical? It's Minecraft.
Yeah, we don't need it to be logical. We're just having fun making characters something for sure. That's for sure. They're absolutely something. What they are is up for interpretation to a lot of people. Except for people like Techno, who's just a pig. That's not up for interpretation.
Yeah, Technoblade, just a pig. Unless you subscribe to the anime boy Technoblade, which is just a human with long pink hair. And I have realized, since he has passed, the idea of drawing him human has become more and more because we're reflecting more on the content creator. When back he was just a character in a huge, grand, arcing story. No, that's the scary pink boar that lives up north and will destroy everything.
That's also a kind of key difference when talking about these things, is people are drawing these as characters, not as the content creators. We're not, I say, people are not going, haha, I think, and I'm going to say real name, Charles is a bird. People are going, Grian, the ex-watcher? What if he still has wings? But now they're like a parrot, like a tropical parrot. And so they had like the rainbow colors on them because he's a pesky bird. He's a pesky bird. It's so different. And that's why Techno is kind of different, is that you'll see him more as human nowadays because people have humanized him more as a real person.
I think the Grian thing is really interesting because when Grian first joined Hermitcraft, he could not fly. He had never really used an elytra before. He was so used to being a creative builder or being in worlds before they had access to the end. He never got used to an elytra, and then he picked it up so quickly, and then he got associated with chickens due to Poultry Man, and it became this guy has chicken wings for the longest time before he started finding pesky birds to fill his mega base with and got associated with those because he kept breaking redstone.
That's also why there's so many different wing types when you're looking at Grian.
At the end of the day, the idea that Grian has wings really comes from one, ex-Watcher lore, and especially because they're associated with angels, and two, chickens. He's a really good flyer, and he immediately started using that flight to protect chickens.
Hear me out on this. I think it's kind of funny we don't see more art of him as a codfish.
Yeah, 100%. But that's just because the wings are so recognizable. Trying to make a fish hybrid, it's very hard to get right.
Wait, have you seen Lizzie from Empires? Have you seen Jimmy from Empires?
Yes, I've cosplayed Jimmy's from Empires. It is difficult.
It's true. But like, when you're doing artist stuff, it's kind of funny that we, one, associate Grian so much with his wings, and then turn around, look at him in game, and go, that is a codman. That is the codman. It's a strange turnaround to me. I'm not bothered by it, but it's fascinating. Fascinating. Captain Sparkles is an Ender Dragon.
And then, moving on, Captain Sparkles is an Ender Dragon. Speaking of wings, I can't imagine that guy as anything other than some sort of connection to the end.
Ender Dragon. I have no other thoughts about Captain Sparkles' hybrid traits other than Captain Sparkles is an Ender Dragon.
Yeah, that's one of the things where it's like, there's not much to discuss. He is an Ender Dragon. It's kind of like, there's no way you look at Fundy and go, that's not a fox, okay?
That's just a fox, man.
That's just a fox, man. Though CPK is an interesting case because he's so much associated with being a fox. That is his Minecraft skin. That is like all of his merch and whatever. And then he goes on to Pirates SMP and he says, no, I'm a human who's wearing a fox mask. Yes, not an agree here. But when he's on Origins, he literally looks like a fox regardless of what origin he has. So what is the story being told? And you kind of see a mix of art between the two. Is this a human wearing a fox mask or is this a full fox?
I don't know, because I haven't watched him as frequently. Like, I used to. In recent years, I've not known him as much. But if you remember, one of the hybrid people who was like, that's canon to that story, of Lizzie in Empire Season 2, just wearing the human mask. It's like, yes, I am a human man.
Yes, not an agree. Well, Lizzie's an interesting case in Empire's SMP Season 2 because Pix kind of revealed this after the fact, at least I think it was Pixel Rift, of Lizzie's character was meant to be a descendant from the Lost Empire from Empire's SMP Season 1, which were all very clearly animal people.
I did not know that.
Oh, yes, fun facts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and sausage. I'm actually going to end the sentence there. And,
and sausage. The end. I think the last two people I really wanted to bring up was Tommy Innit and Tubbo. Because Tommy Innit, you saw through the Dream SMP era of being a Minecrafter, so many different versions of hybrid Tommy, though the one that kind of got the most popular near the end was sort of a devil-y Tommy.
I don't get that. Here's the thing. I never saw that much Devil Tommy. Like, I'll see in cosplays, like, little red horns that they'll put on the thing. But, like, never anything beside that. because he's just a little demon. He's a little gremlin. But I'll see more frequently people like pairing him with other creators and going, well, he's whatever their traits are. So like Philza, they'll go, well, he's Philza's kid, so he gets wings now. Actually, or he's also a piglin. Congrats. He is now. Or Raccoon. Raccoon is one I saw more frequently than Demon.
Yes, because that is what Technoblade called him. Like, you are basically a raccoon in my house. But then after we moved away from Tommy living with Technoblade, we left behind that association.
I never moved past that.
You still in that Arctic. However, Tommy, once he left that, he lost being a pig, he lost being a raccoon, and he went back to being human up until around the end of the Dream SMP era, when that, once again, little devil Tommy started to become more popular.
No, I never moved past the Arctic, actually.
You're still in the Arctic.
I decided I was done with the Dream SMP there. I decided, you know what? I'm going to end right there. That's the end of the series for me.
Honestly, peak. I will say peak.
So I respect it. I believe you. However, I've not experienced it.
Well, since you were in the Dream SMP a little bit before, I mean, we can talk about Tubbo and how Tubbo became a goat-ram hybrid due to his connection with J-Schlatt, even though in the Dream SMP, Tubbo was not J-Schlatt's kid. Tubbo was more closely connected to Iskall and Captain Sparkles.
Okay, this is a little bit of sidetrack, but we can go right back to Tubbo immediately after, understand?
All right.
I don't think Iskall and Captain Sparkles know that they have joint custody of Tubbo.
They don't, and I've talked about this before. I think it's the funny thing in the world. Both of them have referred to Tubbo as, oh yeah, he's kind of like my son, but they don't know the other has said that. And so the idea is, yeah, Tubbo has two dads. They're not divorced. They just don't know about each other.
It's really funny to me.
And then the question is, like, yeah, which hybrid trait would Tubbo take after? Iskall is almost either a cyborg or associated with villagers, which doesn't really, pass on that much. Or you get dragon hybrid from Captain Sparkles, but he never shows that. He never has an interest in the end. And so people were associating him with J-Schlatt, and so he got J-Schlatt's hybrid traits. Except there's no evidence for them to be connected.
I remember Tubbo started getting drawn with the horns because it was a connection of he's now the ruler of L'Manberg and he's going to be just as tyrannical as J-Schlatt was. And so it was supposed to be this angsty thing of like, oh my god, he's going to be just like him and it's so sad. And then people forgot where it came from and were just like, no, he's actually just a little goat, actually. Hate to break it to you.
It did look really cute in his Snowchester outfit when you saw those fan arts, and he looked like it was adorable. I loved those art pieces.
That's the only Tubbo cosplay that I ever did was Snowchester.
It's good. It's very good. But those are all the hybrids I wanted to really bring up, and I know we're going a bit longer in this, but there was a lot to talk about, and we're not even scratching the surface.
Yeah, there's so many more creators and different ways that make good time to Scott. Anyway,
there's a lot to unpack there. But that's a conversation, and we will cover that in a separate video.
Oh, I want to talk about Pearl later.
Anyways, on to the Q&A. Make a Q&A sound. Our first question: what is your favorite musical number? This could be from a musical or from a play or a film that happened to have a song.
Okay. Ooh, I want you to go first because I want to make sure I'm referencing the exact right one.
Oh, see, I asked the question and then I was not prepared. Though I have been so obsessed with this musical called Come From Away, and it's a really heavy musical. It covers people who were on airplanes during 9/11 and they got stranded in Canada because the US air borders were closed. And there is a song on there that both has a lyrical version and a version that the band just recorded without people singing. And it is so upbeat and so happy, and it's about people being welcomed into this town. It's like, I know you're in shelters right now, but come out and enjoy a night. Drinks are on us. Please live a little and become part of our family for the week that you're stuck here. And it's so beautiful, and I love it so much, and I can't remember its name. I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite of all time, but it comes up so often on my playlist.
I love that musical. It's
an islander. I am an islander.
Believe it or not, if you know my username, I know most musicals.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull another one from Dropout TV, an amazing streaming service. They have a show called Make Some Noise, and they had to do an episode where they did an entire improv musical. And my favorite song from that is Mount Port, which is just kind of the intro to the town.
It's a good one.
Though I'm a professional, solid runner-up.
So because you mentioned two, I'm going to mention two. I will say, since it's currently kind of coming out, is Epic the Musical.
Oh, Epic.
I really, really like it because just being able to be a part of the creation of it is really fun to me. But I'm trying to stay away from just constantly referencing musicals. So I'm going to reference a ballet.
Ooh.
I really, really like The Mistake Waltz. It's hard to pick favorite music though. That's why I immediately went to the ballet.
It's so hard. I mean, every now and then I catch myself singing Last Midnight from Into the Woods. Like, that's all. They're all bangers. It's a whoops all bangers moment.
Oh, Anastasia. I loved that music growing up. And Matilda.
We gotta move on. We'll only be listing musicals for the rest of our time here.
An episode about musicals.
All right, the next question. Let's do our favorite hermit skin variant. This could just be any sort of different Minecraft skin other than the default from members of Hermitcraft.
Steampunk Tango.
See, I like fan art of Steampunk Tango. I'm going to say in terms of the detail on his skin, it looks a little messy.
I like it. I like it.
I am a sucker for any different Zedaf skin. I'm a huge Zedaf fan, and I love the stories he tells, and the way he just makes his skins so vibrant, with the exception of his default, which is just a normal brown shirt.
Completely unrelated to Zedaf. Wormman is great!
Wormman's Minecraft skin is beautiful. Oh, but Evil Azuma. Do we count Evil Azuma as a different Minecraft skin?
Oh, yeah. We're going to.
We're going to. Oh, Bizuma, though. That's a cute one. I really like Bizuma. No, I think I like Bizuma more.
No, Axolotl more than Bizuma. Turtle Bro over every. Bizuma has too many skins, actually.
Yeah, well, he
made a whole skit about it.
All right. Well, I think the answer is yes, and...
Yeah, the answer is yes, and.
The answer is yes, and. All right, our final question. Let's wrap this up real quick. This is from Millette over on my Discord. We all know Millette. Millette's an amazing person.
Millette!
Our favorite Minecraft mod.
Oh.
I mean, all the origins that Millette makes, all the cool custom ones, I think they're amazing.
Origins mod. Okay, no. Let's ignore what our actual favorites are and just say the Origins mod because of the topic of today's episode.
Just the Origins mod, yes. Is it Ad Astra, the one that takes us to space?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Ad Astra. Dude, can we go to Pluto? But Pluto's not real, so...
Yes, it is!
Add Astra if they add Pluto. Otherwise, I love the variety and customization of Origins.
Chisel and Bits.
Oh, I've never got... Chisel and Bits always breaks when I use it, so I try not to.
Yeah, but the potential!
The potential. All right, well, those are our questions for today. We ran a little long talking about Minecraft skins, but what can we say? They're amazing.
They're just cool, okay?
Thank you for listening to this episode of FanDive. We'll be back again next Monday diving into yet another fandom. Have a topic you would like us to cover? Head over to our website, fandive.tumblr.com. There you can also find any episode relevant images and general shenanigans that we get up to. It is Tumblr after all. We're not ashamed of being fans of things.